What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. We're talking today about AEW Dynamite, the Halloween edition, because it's Halloween season, on October the 27th, 2021, featuring a lot of good stuff. We got probably one of the better women's matches from AEW's division, a main event that caused a lot of controversy that shouldn't be causing a lot of controversy, and an opening match that featured two birthday boys. But before we get into that, I want to let you guys know that this is YouTube, and YouTube likes its algorithm. And what its algorithm likes is when you give a go to sleep to that like button. And while you're down there, you might as well hit the notification bell and the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. This does help. Actually, it does, because I've seen the metrics on it. It helps other people. It helped in that last video. Other people find out about this video who are fans of AEW and will be searching on YouTube, so I appreciate it very much. Now, the show started out, as I mentioned, two birthday boys. For this birthday boy, because October 26th is a day that I share with CM Punk, that we were basically born on the same day, which is hilarious to me, because that's why I see so much in him that reminds me of me. So I think I get CM Punk in a way. So Scorpios were different kind of cats. But Bobby Fish, not too far behind. Bobby Fish actually a day afterwards, October 27th, on the day of the show. So this is very special for me. I was very happy. But in all seriousness, though, this was a pretty damn good opening match. It's the first time CM Punk's been on Dynamite, because they basically tried to get him to bump the ratings of Rampage. It didn't work out too well. But CM Punk here against Bobby Fish, a fantastic match between two veterans. Bobby Fish worked on CM Punk's go-to-sleep knee, which is something you don't usually see in CM Punk matches, which I thought was a nice new wrinkle. I love the ending when CM Punk does hit the go-to-sleep, does get the pin. It takes him a while to get the cover, but he gets the pin on Bobby Fish, and Fish rolls his arm out right after the referee hits the mat for 3. It's been a long time since I've seen that. I can't even remember the last time I did see that. But that was a fantastic way of making Bobby Fish not looking like some jabroni who's taking from NXT who's taking on the great CM Punk. They are both about the same age, obviously, and they're in my age group. And those of us in my age group, look, we know wrestling, damn it. And we can come up with cool stuff like this. But no, seriously, this was a great match. You definitely should watch it. What I also think you should watch, actually, there's like 4 matches on this show and a couple promos that you just watch the damn show. This whole show is pretty good, actually. Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida had the best women's match in AEW since the one between Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, and they didn't need any of the table spots or the thumbtacks or the blood to do it. This was just a great goddamn wrestling match. And they set this up wonderfully a couple weeks ago with the match between the two of them before, where Serena Deeb kept Shida from hitting 50 wins in the women's division, the first woman to hit 50 wins, because Jungle Boy hit 50 wins in the men's division. But Shida was going to hit her 50 wins. She didn't get it because Serena Deeb's beat her in that match, which you kind of knew was going to happen halfway through it. So this is the rematch for them in the TBS Championship Tournament. Shida comes out with the broken trophy they were going to give her that night. And she is vicious in this match. And Deeb's is vicious in this match. And it just led to such build. And the near falls were fantastically performed. Up until the wonderful counter reversal of the finish of the match, which was beautiful. This was a fantastic match. One of the best of the year. Absolutely one of the best, although it's not saying much for AEW's women's division, but it's getting there. This is another match that's helping it get to respectability. And I would love to see these two wrestle again. If Shida wins the TBS Championship, I'd love to see these two have like a, Rob Van Dam, Jerry Lynn kind of series, or Nikita Koloff, Lex Luger, or Booker T, Chris Benoit. That's a good idea. 7-match series give me a 7-match series between these two women for the TBS Championship. I'm all in. But after the match, Deeb attacked Shida very viciously, got a lot of heat on it. Just the whole thing was just great. Cody has his promo, and look, I like Cody. I like Cody as the babyface. I think a lot of people, because he does so much the celebrity stuff, which is his role in AEW, he's supposed to be the guy that goes out and gets all the celebrities and has that celebrity tie-in to give AEW a face in the mainstream, which it's always a thing that, it's funny that a lot of wrestling fans always talk about the casual fans, but when you have a guy that is specifically there to go get casual fans for the product, people boo them. And, it happened with Cena, although Cena deserved it. It happened with Brock Lesnar. It happened with Ronda Rousey. And now because Cody's got his own show, and he's on the Go Big Show, and he had the match with Shaq, and he's got the big super entrance and the pyro, and he's put himself as the kind of corporate celebrity face of the company, a lot of fans don't like that. They think he's got too big a head of it for his britches. And Cody addressed that in this promo. I thought it was interesting the way he was kind of turning. But you know what's really good about this? I can't tell if they're obviously aware of the fans booing Cody. But is this Cody shooting that he doesn't want to be a heel and he's going to stay face? He did say that in an interview a while ago. Or is this part of an ongoing longer-term storyline where Cody will eventually become face because he pretty much won't have a choice? I love the fact that they mixed in that Malachi Black thinks that he won the war even though he lost the third match because he turned the crowd against Cody. So this all leads to Andrade El Idolo coming out and having a hilarious joke making fun of Cody's neck. El Idolo can get, I understand why they had Chavo in there for a couple weeks to be the spokesperson, but El Idolo, he can, even if it's broken English, he can get it across. He can get his point across. And he even had probably one of the best jokes of the night about Cody's tattoo. So he was good coming to the ring. Malachi Black comes into the ring. We think it's going to be a beatdown again, but Pac comes in because he's got the feud with El Idolo. And then we get the confrontation between Pac and Malachi Black, which I definitely want to see that match. Pac gets up, sits cross-legged style like Malachi Black does in the ring, stealing his gimmick and flips him off with these crazy eyes. Malachi Black is flipping it out. I can't wait to see that match. That's the match I want to see. We're getting Andrade and Cody next week, but I want to see Pac and Malachi Black. This version of the Bastard Pack against this version of Malachi Black, holy crap, that's going to be, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be scary and rough and brutal and violent, and I want to see it. Cody didn't have the only promo of the night that got the crowd riled up. His former protege, MJF, comes out to the ring, and he has his, even the announcers made mention of it, that he has like one match every 3 months and it's against a jobber on Dynamite. So he had this jobber match, beat the guy with his pinky in about, a minute? And then he cuts his big promo on the town, he cuts his promo on Sting and Darby, and then the lights go out and they try to make you think that Sting's coming to the ring, so they're getting ready, but everything's not what you think it is. MJF and Shawn Spears start laughing about it because it was one of those fake out things that they had the music play. But I don't know if anybody else picked up on this. I haven't heard anybody else mention it, but if you take note of this, Wardlow did not know. He was not in on the joke with Shawn Spears and MJF. That is a subtle, this is the stuff that AEW does that I love. This is a subtle subplot that's just kind of simmering. They're not beating you over the head. The announcers aren't even really talking about it. But us as the fans, the fans who pay attention a little bit more, we see that. We see this thing has been going on a long time with Wardlow and MJF. And I think Shawn Spears is the perfect catalyst for that to fall apart. But Wardlow was not aware of the joke. But then Sting comes in. He beats up Wardlow and Shawn Spears. MJF tries to get away. Darby Allin is in the audience incognito. He then goes after MJF, who runs like a scalded dog up the ramp. And Darby's getting in MJF's head now, where it was a whole thing about Darby saying that MJF couldn't get into his head. So I like this mind game thing between the two. This is pretty cool. I'm enjoying it very much. Ethan Page challenged the AEW TNT champion, Sammy Guevara, to a match on this show, which is another damn good match that you got to see. Sammy's bouncing all over the place. He's angry as hell. Ethan Page is brutalizing him when he gets the upper hand. This is a fantastic freaking match. I like Sammy as the TNT champion. I was hoping they set it up with a stipulation that if Sammy lost, he'd be out of the inner circle, but I don't see it happening because then what is the match that you're going to have at Full Gear? This is a faction feud, so you don't want to have one of the key guys in one of the factions leave. Tony Nese, by the way, they keep showing him in the crowd, especially during these American top team and men of the year inner circle segments. And a lot of people are suspecting, and I think this makes sense, that he will be joining the men of the year, which will be an interesting trio with the three of them: Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and Tony Nese. That'd be pretty cool. We're going to find out next week. I'm expecting Masvidal to be involved in this big 10-man tag match at Full Gear, which, you know, I'm a UFC fan, I'm an MMA fan, and him and Junior Dos Santos, I'm all for it, man. This is pretty cool for me. But this match was just to set up this match at Full Gear. I absolutely love it. And again, another good segment on Dynamite this week. I've seen a lot of people talk about this thing, and yes, the main event put me off a little bit, the same way it put me off a couple years ago when I saw Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Adam Cole do pretty much the same thing at Korakuen Hall, New Japan, around Halloween. It was a Halloween show. Kenny came out dressed like a Disney princess or something else, and I forgot what the costumes were. But these guys love Halloween. I'm surprised that anybody who's a fan of this company and being the elite and has seen being the elite or seen these guys before 2019 does not know that they love to do this schlocky horror stuff. But whatever. It's the main event. The elite dressed up as the Ghostbusters, along with Michael Nakazawa dressed up as a Bay, and presumably we thought Brandon Cutler in the Stay Puft Marshmallow outfit. Now, a lot of people picked up on this immediately. I wasn't really paying that close attention to it, but halfway through the match, I remember looking and going, why is Cutler not taking the mask off? So I started kind of figuring out halfway through the match once I thought about it. But anyway, so they were taking on the Dark Order in this continuing feud with these guys. And they were dressed up as a variety of things, cowboys and horses, and I think one of them was dressed up as Kratos. I know Colt Cabana was dressed up as Brandon Cutler, which again was another giveaway for what was going on. Some subtle things like that, man. They're very good at that stuff. But so this is a Halloween match on a Halloween edition of a wrestling show. And people apparently are very upset about this. It's probably the same people who are going to be upset about everything AEW does. And when AEW does do something that does tilt towards really goofy, then it's like the Hindenburg has crashed or something. It's like, you guys have been saying that this is what they do all the time, and now that they actually do it, now you're really mad about it, which would lead me to believe that all the other times you complain about it, it really isn't as bad as you said it was. And I admit too, I mean, at the beginning of the match, I was a little cringy. I was like, this is a little bit much. But then it's a Halloween episode. Okay, we can have a little fun. It's wrestling. It's not that serious. It really shouldn't be that serious at all. But it's not that serious. It's a Halloween episode. I'm fine with it. Every TV show in the history of the world has had a Halloween episode where people dress up in costumes. I don't know why a wrestling show should be any different, and it's not like it's the first wrestling show that's ever done it. This was a funny match, the way they structured it. Again, it's some of that being the elite goofiness, the proton packs in the ring, and Colt Cabana taking a bump on one of them, and then them stacking him up and powerbombing him through the proton packs. A lot of cool stuff happened in this match, a lot of posing, and it was just a fun thing. And you knew what it was. This is the thing, this is the reason why this doesn't bother me so much, is because it's in a situation that's supposed to be silly. If you're supposed to be silly, if I go into a Toru Yano match knowing it's going to be a Toru Yano match, I know what I'm getting into. It's the elite, they all come out in costume. It's going to be a silly match. We knew that going in. Whatever. But anyway, so the cool thing that we get is then near the end of this, we have everybody running into the ring. There's a guy that comes down on a horse on the side of the Dark Order, and I think some people didn't pick up on this. By that point, I knew what was going on. But the elite gave the BTE trigger to the guy on the horse, thinking it was Adam Page, and then they took it off, and it's like, it's Brandon Cutler. Well, that's Brandon Cutler. And then the great pan shot, it reminded me of the first Dynamite where you saw Omega looking, and then Moxley coming up behind him all angry. Same thing here. Page had that look on his face as Matt Jackson slowly turns around and realizes his fate, and it is Hangman Page in the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man outfit. I thought it was great. That was a fun thing. The place exploded. I mean, again, I don't know. This is going to be remembered, and people were hating on it. Steve Austin drove a beer truck into an arena and doused Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon and The Rock with a beer truck. Kurt Angle came out in a milk truck many years later. This is 20 years ago. That stuff happened in what's now considered old school. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about with people going flippity-doo about this, but whatever. I thought it was fun. Do I want to see it every single week? No. Do I want to see them get a little bit more serious, which they probably will next week because the Elite got embarrassed, so they're going to be out for blood against Hangman and the Dark Order next week? Yes, I think that'll happen, and it should happen. But anyway, enough about that. I thought the entire episode was pretty damn good. He had 4 very enjoyable matches on the show, all different kinds of matches too. And he has a couple of really good promos. The show moved quickly as Dynamite always does. I definitely recommend you watching it. But I want to know what you guys think, honestly, down in the comment box below. Was the main event too goofy for you? And even with the finish, it was still too goofy. You didn't like it? Or do you think that was the greatest thing in the world? Or was the finish what made it for you? What do you think about Shida and Deeb having one of the best AEW women's matches? Bobby Fish and CM Punk. This whole feud between the Inner Circle. Is Tony Nese going to join up with the Men of the Year? Let your voice be heard in the comment box below. Until next time, I'll see you guys here for more news, rumors, and reviews here on the Rantin Review Pro Wrestling. Have a good day.